This is Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. And, you know, it was a pretty slow start to the season right here in the month of May now, becoming very active when it comes to severe weather. And the timing for some places could not be the heaviest of rain is that we are watching. So there's two different areas we've got our eyes on right now. One here close to Houston, but down towards Corpus Christi and inland just a bit towards Beeville. And then this over here just to the west of San Antonio, Kerrville, down towards the Pearsall area, Pearsall area. Watching this little cluster right here, this looks like it might be trying to become this little mesoscale convective vortex. We saw a couple of those yesterday, and really what that means is it's a little system, gets a bit of a life of its own, and can be a very efficient rain producer. So that's one concern right there. Let's go down to Corpus Christi, where you picked up another 4+ inches of rain after yesterday's 4 or 5 or 6 inches of rain. Flood warning, flash flood warning still in effect there, even though the rain has moved out, but not too far out of the area, over towards Alice and up towards Beeville. We are again dealing with tremendous rain this morning. You know, we broadened out the view, and we are looking at, of course, the southeastern Texas area, but also this wave of rain coming into portions of western Texas, making it all the way up into the Panhandle. We're going to be watching for more of that today. Let's put this into forecast mode, and we'll show you what we're expecting. Through the lunchtime hour, more rain overspreading, even San Antonio expecting to get some rain for you. Dallas, rain coming back into the picture as well. Watching big concerns out here, of course, on the rivers, the streams, the creeks, all running very high. We're looking at a lot of spots at moderate flood stage. And as we get you into this evening here, the ride home from work, still a little rain left behind in Dallas and San Antonio, but now we'll see more of it spreading up into Oklahoma as well, and even into eastern parts of Texas and getting into Louisiana. North Texas, we could use the rain, right? We need it for the drought, but just not all at the same time. And Aridis Rodriguez is in Dallas, where they are under a flood threat from these heavy rains.
This is Weather Center Live. We're taking a look at what has been an active pattern lately, Jen, and we start off here with a look at just May 6th through 10th. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all of the preliminary tornado counts.
All right, now we take a look at these days, and you know the busiest days have unfortunately been on the weekends.
Right there. You can see just over this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 65 preliminary tornadoes.
All right, and so certainly concerns out of this past weekend. Texas hard hit with 3 tornadoes, one of them an EF3 in the town of Van, Texas, which is just to the east of Dallas. And the town is racing to clean up before more rough weather rolls in over the coming days.
NBC's Carrie Sanders is in Van, where Sunday night's deadly tornado left a small town wounded, but also some incredible stories of survival.
A little later this hour, we hear from that man's wife, the one that was reunited with the dog, and she tells the incredible story of how she was able to save their young child when their car was lifted into the air by the tornado with the family inside. All are okay, but still their story is amazing, and we'll have that coming up. We want to talk about, though, what's to come this weekend, some of the same areas at risk for storms with possible tornadoes.
This is the Friday Torcon, the exclusive tornado condition index. So it says within 50 miles. So any point within this area, so if your city's there, a 50-mile radius from that point, there's a 4 out of 10, or in this case, a 3 out of 10 chance, which is a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles.
And like last weekend, Friday is going to be a day where things starting to get going. Saturday is going to be the busiest day, and we've got Torcons of 5 all the way up into South Dakota. We go down into Kansas and Oklahoma, in Nebraska too. Actually, it's a 5 here.
And that's for Saturday. Few days away still, and that tells you there's some confidence in severe weather coming to fruition.
Exactly. 4 in Oklahoma, and then down to Texas. Of course, we'll watch the concern. Sunday, the risk continues, and again farther north into Wisconsin, into Minnesota too.
And all the way down, again, close to where we saw some of the strong storms on Sunday. And you can see still that threat for some strong storms going all the way over into Mississippi.
All right, so not to mention, of course, we'll have the risk of tornadoes, but heavy rain is going to be a concern. And this coming on top of very saturated ground. And that's another story that we'll follow for you, of course, is the flooding threat coming up.
Live in Texas, and you've had all of this rain lately. You might be asking, what drought? What's the problem here? But still dealing with some drought here, despite the fact that there has been a lot of rain in the month of May.
All right, so I mean, the Houston area and really southeast Texas, we got rid of our drought back in April. We did all right there with rainfall. But the area up here in northern Texas, up around the Red River, where we just picked up a foot of rainfall, we actually still had exceptional drought areas in that region.
And even if the drought in some areas gets, or goes away, you still have a lot of the the lakes that aren't quite back up to where they should be.
That's part of the story. So this is what, as we go back to December of last year, where the drought area was the worst, and it's right up here. And you see that didn't change a whole lot through the winter. As we get you through the spring, it didn't change a whole lot. Southeast Texas did improve. But as of the last drought monitor update, we still had some extreme drought across this area, a little bit of exceptional.
And think about this. You have, drought, then you have severe, moderate, extreme, and exceptional drought. And we're seeing a huge part of California where you see a lot of rain here, a lot of California seeing the exceptional, the worst kind of drought, almost half the state in that.
Yeah, all right, so this is a different magnitude, right, of what we're talking about here in California. We are 47% of the exceptional drought. And in California, some residents are taking some extreme measures to save water, including getting rid of backyard in-ground swimming pools.
In fact, more than 1 million pools in the state. The question is, can that help? NBC San Diego's Bob Hansen has more. Now, even though rain is in the forecast, it's going to take a lot more to get out of this massive drought.
Yeah, you're not filling up a pool with this rain, but we do now for the second week in a row have rain into Southern California. We'll see it in LA Thursday and Fridays. LA's, San Diego, we might get more than an inch out of this. It's possible.
We're not getting a drought when it comes to severe weather, that's for sure, especially the past few weeks. And
a lot of reports of water-covered roadways from the Houston area down towards Corpus Christi, where we got another 5 inches of rain this morning. And you can see the forecast is for more rain to come. So we've got a couple of showers in the area still. We'll get a break this afternoon, but then the risk of thunderstorms with heavy rain comes right back into the area through about midnight tonight, and then we'll get another break overnight after that. So here's where the rain is right now. Some of the worst of the weather for us happening certainly into southeastern Texas. This is how much we received in the Houston area. And you see, no surprise, right, why I-45 is the interstate affected. Around League City, we officially got more than 7 inches of rain here. Radar estimating about 6 inches, pretty widespread across the area. And heavy rain was really the story for much of the early morning. Now, we're in a break right now, but we go down into the Corpus Christi area where we were watching a lot of rain that moved just a little bit off to the north and west. That storm cell still has a tornado warning on it until 10 o'clock local time. It is Doppler radar indicated rotation. Jim Wells, Nueces counties here under that threat as the storm moves north and just a little bit west of north for you over the next about, say, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Now, we have another area that we're watching. This area going to scoot south side of San Antonio. Bexar County has a special weather advisory. We don't have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but you notice that you sort of have this Boeing shape here. We're going to get some gusty winds out of this, maybe up to about 40 miles per hour. That's what we'll expect out of that. Not to mention a lot of very frequent lightning, cloud to ground lightning too at that coming out of this cell. Another risk along with all the heavy rain that we're seeing across the area.